Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you make your Ormus?
Okay. Well, this is some of the Ormus here that's in process. These are actually ready to bottle. This is the Ormus that's made from Dead Sea salt, and this particular one we were doing some testing with it because the water that was in this, we collected it from dew water, and so this was a mixture of dew water that saturated the Dead Sea salt, and then we collected that and made the precipitate from that. So Ormus, you can get Ormus virtually from everywhere. Ormus is in spring water, it is in all seawater, it is in anything that lives, or it is in anything that has ever lived. You can render limestone or even concrete. You can dissolve concrete into in acid, and because concrete's primary component is limestone, and that was living material, and Ormus can be extracted out of that because it's been stored into that when it was a living, functioning organism. You can make Ormus out of maple syrup or anything that lives. Ormus is critical in all living material. It doesn't matter.
How would you make it from maple syrup? I mean, how do you concentrate the Ormus in different various foods?
Well, we usually work with the salts because you're not dealing with all of the organic materials. So you can make Ormus out of any organic material, but to isolate it, then you've got to dissolve away the organic materials to isolate the Ormus itself. And this is just so much more the easier way to do it. This is something that, well, I do at home. So it's not that difficult.
And you do it with the precipitate?
Yeah, the process is to dissolve whatever your root material, your salts or whatever it is that you're trying to make. So you want to dissolve your materials into the water, and then you use lye. And the lye will force this material out of solution with the water.
Okay. Can you tell everyone what lye is?
Lye is actually, there's a considerable amount of lye in drain cleaner. Lye is used in all kinds of medicines. It's used in it's used as a cleaner. It used to be a very popular cleaner in the last part of the last century, in the early 1800s and then in the early 1900s. It was used as a cleaner. It's used to make most of the rudimentary soaps. If you go into a little specialty soap shop, they use lye to produce it.
Okay.
It's a very old material. They used to make lye by dripping water through wood ash that was left over from a fire. So it was easy to do. They used to do this thousands of years ago.
But you're not consuming the lye?
No.
Because that's what some people emailed me when I posted some stuff on my Facebook. They're like, oh my God, people are selling Drano Ormus. They're like...
It's part of the process, right?
Yeah. So what do you do with it? Where does the lye go after you...
Well, once this is all out, then we have to do a whole series of washes. So we keep taking the water off after the precipitate is settled, and then we wash it. We take all that off, and then we flush it with new water, and it all stirs up again. A couple more days, the stuff settles down again. You wash it again, you wash it again. So it just depends, because we also want to take the salt taste out of it, because these are ancient salts. So we keep rinsing it until we lose the taste of the salt altogether. And then it's very, very gentle. As I say, you can put it directly on burns and everything.
Okay.
So it's part of the process. I mean, it's your gasoline in your car is part of the process of getting you to where you want to be. That's all. Doesn't mean you're going to drink gasoline when you get there, right?
Okay.
So, it's part of the process. I mean, you can't eat the cookies till you bake them. Same thing.
Well, sometimes.
So anyway, so we work around, and then we do various blends. This particular Ormus over here, this is a different one. It's a duller color, and this is our M3.
Okay.
So this is 1/3 of this mixture, 1/3 of the mixture of the rhodium iridium salt that comes from Utah, and another third is from the Celtic sea salt extract. So this one is a base for 3 or 4 different Ormuses that we make. And we use the infusions into this one as well, some of the native infusions that we were talking about. And again, they change the characteristics of the Ormus. So we've had a number of people that have used the M3 with infusions in there, and they're having good luck at getting off of antidepressants and things like that. All the Ormuses are going to help to a different degree, but we try to tailor certain things, and then just watch for differences and effects and different, and then we just wait for feedback from people to see how they're making out with it.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll use one and it'll bring your levels up in certain areas, then we'll have to test and use a different one because, again, we just have these massive shortages.
Yeah. I like to do muscle testing for myself.
Absolutely.
That's what I did with yours originally. I tested for the golds, the sea minerals, and I think it was one other kind, I forget, but I wanted the gold primarily, so that's what I got, and I used it up, and now I'm on the sea minerals, and still testing really strong. I really want it, so it's good. I'm definitely feeling a lot more calm, just a lot more mental clarity since I've been taking it. I've noticed it, and my dreams. That's the most significant difference that I've noticed.
Yeah. We've also found that maybe 8 or 10% of people, especially when they're a bit older, seem to have vision improvements too. We've had several people that no longer wear their glasses to watch TV and things like that. And they're just little things. They're things people don't think about. They just set the glasses down because it's not comfortable. Then a month later they realize, hey, I'm not wearing my glasses to watch TV.
Oh, absolutely. I believe that, because I know people who even get into eating raw food. They're eating a lot of foods with a lot of Ormus, and they don't have to wear glasses after a couple months. So
it's it's just a lot of little things. And as I say, your body takes the materials as long as it's got them, and it's your body.
And then it knows what to do. It knows where to heal.
It's got its own blueprint. Absolutely, it's got its own blueprint.
So if people want to buy this from you, they can go to your website.
What's
the
you can
easiest
go to
way?
the website. The easiest way is actually to phone, because we're not really that high-tech on websites.
Okay.
The website's there for information and so on, and try to get more testimonials. I imagine eventually we'll get a little better with a website, but it's not my forte. But anyway, the phone number's there. There's email there if you want to order something. It's easy to do, and anywhere that we can help out in getting this knowledge out or stuff you want to know, contact us and we'll be happy to help you.
Yeah. You're definitely a book of Ormus knowledge.
Yeah, it's been a while.
How many hours did you say that you've studied or invested into Ormus?
Personally, I've probably got in the neighborhood of 6,000 hours of research into this now. We started with it a little over 3 years ago. So, but I mean, I'm part of it. I like the scientific end of it. My wife Ricky's into the spiritual end of it, and this is absolutely as spiritual a substance as there is. Because the Ormus has the ability to take your intent and restructure your water. Like Masaru Emoto's work, the Ormus is the material that restructures the water.
Yes.
It's the medium. Alright, it's the intent through that medium. Whenever we do testing, if somebody wants Ormus, Ricky can do testing, pendulum testing, to see which one would suit the particular person.
Even long distance?
Even long distance.
Okay, great.
She'll need a full name, and she will require a birth date, and she would also require your permission. And with this, she can do the testing, and we can send you some, and you can check it out. If you decide you want to get to the stage where you want to make it and so on, we can certainly steer you in the right directions. And the main thing is, first is to be aware, second is to learn, and then you go from there.
Do you feel that Ormus is for everybody? Because some people say how not everyone's ready for it because it could create too much of a healing crisis, or perhaps they just took too much, I don't know. But do you think that some people can't handle it?
What I've found, or what we've found, is that it is for everyone, and every plant, and every animal, and every absolute living thing in the world. Certain people will have other issues which need to be dealt on their own. Ormus may or may not help people deal with these issues, whether it provides better mental clarity or provides a physical solution. It will help. It's food. It's essential food, and we are nutrient deficient in these minerals.
Yes.
So, you have to have these things. Once they're there, you may not be used to them, but if you haven't been well, or you haven't been properly, fed
Yeah.
for your life, I mean, you aren't going to know what it feels like.
I think those people are just like half asleep and they're like, oh my God, I can see, I feel good, and everything is like their senses are intensified. I mean, they're not intensified, they're just how they're supposed to normally be, but before they're just like half numb, walking around like zombies.
Exactly,
Yeah.
It's like if you don't eat chocolate for a month and then you have some, it tastes pretty good. By the fourth bar, it doesn't taste good anymore. So your body has all these regulatory limitations,
exactly.
and it's, it does the work.
Yeah.
You give it what it needs, it does the work.
I agree.
Yeah.
And one more thing, a lot of people don't know how to store this and how you have to keep it in a spot that's not, by electromagnetic.
Storage is important. Anytime we send out bottles of Ormus, we send sheets with it and has storage information. But it's important to know that Ormus can be rendered useless by a strong exposure to electromagnetic fields. We had one lady that knew if you put Ormus on a burn, the pain stops. She knew this. She had Ormus and she had it stored in her bedroom, which should be about the least electromagnetic area of the house. However, she got a burn, put it on, and it didn't work. And once we managed to figure it out, we realized that she had a deck phone sitting on top of the night table in which the Ormus was stored. So the bottle of Ormus was only sitting, a few inches away from a pretty strong 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. So it rendered it useless, we replaced the bottle. So, I mean, you can't store it in your purse with a cell phone. People don't realize that today the whole no-drop calls thing is because the cell phone companies use your telephone as a relay, even if it's off. If it's got a battery in charge, it will use your telephone as a relay. So the proximity of you to your cell phone, you should never carry it around your waist because it'll tend towards sterilization or low sperm count, things like that. This is nasty stuff, and you need to know about this. And we got in the side door of this because we had these problems with the Ormus being a couple of times it was rendered useless. We had another lady in Florida that got a bottle of Ormus and stored it in a closet. She called up a couple of weeks later. She took it out. She'd stored it in a bedroom closet. It was wrapped in foil. She said when she unwrapped the foil, the inside of the foil had turned black and the bottle was covered in oil and it hadn't been opened. So again, once we talked to her mother and so on, we figured out that beside it there was another closet opening into another room, and where the Ormus was about a foot away from a 3,000 watt electric element. So that electric element caused enough force against the Ormus that it went through the bottle and collected inside the foil, which left the bottle oily, and we still don't know why the foil color changed completely. So the thing is, we know it's there, and by watching the effects and the things that occur, that's how we kind of steer our course and learn how to deal with it. And I've added twice already to the storage sheet because as we learn more, we added a bit more. But a little bit of common sense and a little bit of realizing all the electrical fields that you are living in, and particularly the microwave and the transmitter end of it, the microwave ovens, the cell phones, the 2.4 and the 5.8 gigahertz deck phones. These are really nasty things.
Yeah.
Don't put your Ormus in the night table underneath your clock radio. Your clock radio should be at least 5 feet away from your head, or else you're sleeping in its field. So same thing. And once you start to realize your proximity to electromagnetic fields, and you bring your Ormus levels up a little bit, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You start feeling pretty good.
Okay. Excellent.
I think I've talked enough.
Yeah, you've talked a lot. Thank you so much, Dave.